War is ravaging our lands. Brothers fighting against brothers. I need to stop this madness. But I cannot do it alone. Who will join me? Darkness to confuse our enemies. Strength and steel to break their resolve. Magic to sway the battle's tides. Light to keep us true. Harsh times require an extraordinary council, like none the world has ever seen. United in purpose, we shall end this war.
C'est bon. Okay.
Hello!
Hello.
So welcome to this Twitch demo of Might and Magic Heroes VII. So,
I am Xavier Penin and I am a lead game designer on Hero 7.
and I am Julien Pirou, and I am one of the designers and writers working on this game.
Okay.
So, what are we going to see?
Well, we are going to play the first demo of the game, which is quite old already, but still interesting to show you the game and the intentions and what we're still working on.
So this is a demo that was first introduced at Gamescom, then a bit improved and shown at Igromir a few weeks ago.
Yes.
So if you are already following everything about the game, probably the demo itself won't be very, very new, but don't hesitate to ask questions, because I think we are the main attraction here. So, okay, let's roll.
Okay. So let's start. Well, so this is the introduction of the map. As you can see, we can go have quite nice shots of the adventure map, even though it's meant to be seen from afar.
Yeah. And this is mainly what we see here is Avon territory, so kind of medieval European setting.
Yes.
And
So you saw there was this small presentation of the story of the map, let's say, with these titans led by this magic hero from the Wizard Academy, who is coming to attack the territory of our hero, which in this map is called Ivan, like the main character of Hero 7, even though this is not really Ivan.
yeah, this map is a demo map, so it's not really connected with the actual story of the game. So yeah, don't try to read too much into the story of this map.
Yes. As you can see, the model also, it's a priest, it's not a knight like Ivan, so don't pay too much attention to that. So basically our hero arrived on boat and disembarked, and he's close to his town. So as you can see, or maybe you noticed, there was the first quest basically is to repel the attack from the Academy Wizard. And for that we need to destroy those titans. So I think there's something important to say here, that this is a script just to make this map look good, but this is not a gameplay feature that you will see in the game. This looks like a stack of mobs on the map, but they generally want to move and destroy the setting.
Except
right?
if the story needs it.
Exactly.
Another thing, especially if you played Hero 6, you will notice that the view in Hero 7 is a bit higher, the camera is set a bit higher. We wanted to go back to this feeling of looking at a whole region compared to Hero 6, where the camera was closer to the action. So it's more kind of symbolic scale here, and that's why, for instance, the hero is quite big compared to some of the buildings. Yeah. It's more in the spirit of the older games of the series.
Okay, so as it's heroes, before you going to move your hero and counter-attack, you might want to take a look at your town. Well, in this map you start with a fully evolved town. So this is work in progress, but and we won't be able to show you the internal GUIs and the other sections of the town, but you can have an idea of how the town screen looks like. So in this case, the Haven town, classical medieval fantasy style, and you have all the classic symbols of this faction in Ashan. So this is the Tier of Asha building. It's the biggest thing you can have.
So now, currently it lacks some effects. It looks like a big statue. Normally it's supposed to be like a gigantic vision of Elraf, the dragon god of light. So yeah, just to say that this is work in progress and not fully implemented. But yeah, it's a first glimpse of what the town screens will look like.
So I see there's a question from Maximus Zion, who's asking to show the town building screen. Alas, we don't have this in this build, and we cannot show you how it's going to look like. But if you take a look at the Shadow Council, you can see that there's an article regarding the town development.
So if you didn't know, the Shadow Council is a development blog of Heroes 7.
And we regularly put articles about the game and the design and the story. So you can find more information about the town development. Yes, so we can show you that here. So this was just a little look at the town screen. Well, you can see it's quite typical with all the sub-pages of the town, and here the space to have your army and visiting army and local army and the hero. Something we can talk about quickly is the governor feature, which is something that we kind of adapted from
Heroes 4.
Heroes 4. So basically you can assign a hero to be the governor of a town, and he will bring certain bonuses which can be linked to his own abilities. So you could decide to specialize your hero to be a especially good governor, so he adds a lot of bonuses to a town. And obviously you can have only one hero assigned to one town at a time.
And I see that Seria Fael, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, is asking us why the town screen is not in 3D. And actually it's a very simple question, because the 3D town screens we had in Heroes 5, yes, they looked amazing, but they were like super expensive to make. Because you have to model every single building, and in the end players don't spend that much time. They look at the town screen in 3D once, but after a while you just want to see all your buildings rapidly, and so for many reasons, but mostly for budget and usability reason, we prefer to go back to 2D town screens.
Yes. Okay. Shall we go back to the adventure map? Okay, so let's start the adventure here. So as usual, you have the portrait of your hero, shows the remaining movement points and mana. So let's go back to attack, and here starts a new quest. So yes, the wizard has attacked you, and we have defense system. So again, this is scripted. You cannot build catapults on maps that shoot on incoming enemies, but this is a nice sequence with a lot of effects and destruction, and this is more interesting in terms of gameplay. We can have this kind of event where, in this case, the arcane bird, which is a new creature for Academy, are attacking the catapults. So, which at this point looks like only scripted story, becomes gameplay, because now I'm going to attack these invaders who are blocking my defenses, and we are going to enter a special combat map that we have made especially for this story, and that has a specific layout to represent this story beat. So basically the big catapult is in the middle of the battle map, and it's a big obstacle, and you have to manage the space to defeat your opponents. So again, as you can see, the battle maps can have a bit of mise en scène. So in this case, you have a nice camera to show you what's happening. The main opponent, who's a champion unit, it's quite tough. You might not know that at this point. Let's say the battle map is still very unbalanced in this demo, but let's go back to the layout. So this is something very important for me in Hero 7. We wanted the battle maps to be potentially very different from one to another. So you have classical ones, and this is a very special one. The space is very crowded, and you really have to play with the obstacles to take down your opponents. Okay, let's start with a little spell. Julien, what do you think?
You know, I'm kind of simple kind of guy, so I like a good old fireball.
Yeah,
But
not
since
surprised.
we are playing Haven, maybe a light spell would be nice. Actually, Sunbeam, for instance.
Okay, so the Sunbeam, actually, yes.
As a redhead, I know how Sunbeams can be dangerous.
Okay, so let's attack the Arcane Bird, which is the most pressing threat here. So as Ivan is set up to be very powerful.
Username ask us to zoom a bit.
Yeah, okay, you want to see the game from close.
Let's see a bit this.
Okay, yeah. Yes, so these are our new Haven creatures. This is a classic crossbowman, but he's in the style of the Wolf Duchy, like most of the Haven lineup. The Direwolf is kind of a classic, but this is an adapted version, so it's quite like the Griffin in the Griffin Duchy. It has the same function in battle. And you can see this unit has the old name, but it's I think the Guardian unit. It's the non-upgraded version, which is a light infantry with very good retaliation abilities. And this is our big badass, the Soulmaster, who is a champion unit and is kind of superhuman, super powerful knight.
Yeah. He's inspired by the top unit of Heroes 2, and actually Heroes 1, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
So it was a Paladin back in the day. Paladin is more hero class nowadays, but
Yes.
that was the inspiration in the case.
So anyway, let's use this.
Oh, and by the way, it's worth saying that this is, a pre-alpha version of the game. It's very, very, very work in progress. So yeah, there are lots of glitches, little bugs, little things, little weirdness,
Yeah.
like this staff that goes through the head of the horse earlier. So yeah, you will notice some weird stuff, but that we are not even alpha yet. And of course, the UI means the general style of the UI is the one we are going to have in the game. But there are many things that are still placeholders, wrong icons, menus that are just for functionality and not design and stuff like that. So yeah,
Yes.
because I see there are quite a bit of questions about UI.
Yeah. Well, there are a lot of things to say about the UI.
I see someone, and Angrim the Viking is asking us if we'll have less factions in this game. Actually, we'll have more. We'll have 6 factions in Hero 7. So, yeah.
Yes, and maybe you don't know, but we are putting 2 of these factions to the vote. One has already been voted by the community on the Shadow Council blog.
So actually, the factions that we know so far are in Hero 7 are Haven, Academy, so that's the 2 factions you see in this demo, Necropolis, Stronghold, and first faction voted by the fans is Sylvan, so the Sylvan Elves, and there's another vote currently on the Shadow Council website where you can choose between the Dungeon faction or the Inferno faction.
2 weeks still, I think.
So go there, vote, tell us what you want in the game.
Yeah, and I think today Dungeon is still winning with like 5%. So if you're a fan of the demons, you should really go to vote quickly because time is running. I've been asked what was my preferred choice in this vote, and frankly, for me it's a bit difficult. I don't know what you think, Julien.
Well, I was in the first vote. I wanted the dwarves to win, but
Yeah,
the elves win. Then I wanted because we had the lineups for vote as
Yeah,
well.
that's right.
I wanted the strength of the forest to win because unicorns. I love unicorns, I have to say. But no, the fury won. Okay. So yeah, I really shouldn't. I think I'm jinxing
Okay.
some parties.
You don't want to say. Okay, well, I think I'd like to see the demons again, but
I see Rosen Smart is asking us if there will be a Dynasty online feature like in Hero 6. So maybe that's something you want to answer, Xavier?
we won't have the same system as in Hero 6 for a simple reason. We had feedbacks from the community about the fact that this was linked to being connected and always connected, and that if you were not, you wouldn't have the benefit of the Dynasty weapons and bonuses. So we don't want to have that again. We like the idea that you can collect stuff by playing, and the thing is you won't have the exact same system. But I think it's a bit too early to speak about what we have planned for online benefits, let's say. But
Yeah. In any case, one thing is sure that when you install the game, you have to connect once to how do you say that, to register a game, to
Yes,
and then you can play offline all you want, and there are no gameplay features that are removed from the offline experience. So
yes, absolutely. Okay, do we have any other questions that we can answer right away?
See, Heroes 5 introduced lots of female heroes to the game. Will you be doing the same? Actually, I think in Heroes and most heroes actually equality is a true thing. So there will be roughly as much female heroes as there are
I think
male
yes.
heroes. And even in the campaigns, it's balanced.
Yeah, absolutely. You can count on quite as much male and female heroes. Okay, so let's talk about the adventure map, because I think some of you are interested. So, okay, this was just decoration, this area, but as usual you have, this is stables. Oh, so it's a classic. It's the same as in Hero 6 basically. When you visit it, you get more movement points until the end of the week. Well, let's collect this pile of wood. Okay, in this map I won't need the resources much, but it's interesting to show you how it works. Let's go to the stables to get the bonus. It's interesting to know that in the final game, I cannot show you that now, but you will be able to check all the adventure map bonus you have currently working. So you will be able to know if you are in good position for an attack because you have a recent bonus that you received. Let's get up there. There is a dwelling, so it's a haven dwelling. Right now the values are not balanced. There's maybe a lot of creatures, so it's the core creature dwelling that provides sentinels and crossbowmen and wolves. So I won't enter it now because the GUI is a bit broken in this version, but I could collect creatures directly here, buy them, and since they are part of the area of control of my town, I could also recruit them from my town.
But yeah, so some people who played Hero 6 maybe here area of control and things it works the same way. Actually, it doesn't work exactly
We
the same
have
way.
revised the system for many reasons. There are two big things that have changed, I think. It's the first thing is that you can recruit creatures from the same area of control, but the creatures will move through caravans and not being teleported directly. And you won't be able to do that to recruit the creatures from a town to any town without the cost. There will always be a delay, and caravans that can be attacked, that can be stopped, and it takes time to get reinforcements.
So it's basically back to the Heroes 5 system with some elements of the Hero 6 system.
Yes, we really believe that this is a very important strategy thing that you have to take into account the distance and the delay of reinforcements and not having them directly. And regarding the other